Hello, hello.
You're live.
Hello, hello. Yes, we are. I believe so.
You're live and alive.
True. True.
Yeah, so welcome. This is also new for you, eh? Live on
It is
Instagram.
actually. It's the first time I'm doing live on Instagram. Wow.
So the trainer and the coach learns also new skills.
Exactly. Exactly. It took me a while to learn all the stuff, but
I'll be there. Few lives, and I'll be there.
Me as well, eh? In the beginning, when everybody told me you should go live, you should make videos. Oh my God, it's not easy, eh? Because it's different when you are in person with somebody talking, and like this, it's really a new skill.
true.
But thanks to
True.
Corona, we are doing these things.
You see, thanks to Corona, I've been doing so many live.
Virtual trainings and coachings, but never done this on Instagram, so it was kind of a new thing for me. But
Yeah.
We are there. We are there.
How are you? How is everything going?
All is good. All is good. Still in Skopje.
for the time being, waiting for the situation to calm down and going
Yeah.
back.
To the usual place, to the Middle East.
That's what I was also interested and curious to ask. You are now in Skopje, and usually you work. Where is your base? Or you are
Yes.
everywhere in the Gulf area?
Yes, that's a good question. Well, first of all, let me, if I can,
Just start briefly.
about who I am, who is Ilche.
Yeah.
Marina, thank you for this.
Lovely invite, and thank you for this opportunity. Regardless of how challenging and stressful it seems to be on camera, I
I enjoy being with you, and I enjoy being with the audience.
I've been in education for the last 20 years. I started working as a teacher for about almost 5 years. And after about 5 years, I decided to move to corporate learning. And then I joined organization which is called Leoron. It's one of the biggest training and development institutes in the Middle East region and in Europe. And Leoron gave me that opportunity and platform to actually work with professionals from the Middle East for the first time. So that was the first moment I traveled to Dubai first and then to Saudi Arabia next. So literally the last 15 years, that's been my reality. That's been my everyday life, spending about 5, 6, sometimes 7 months in the Middle East, working with professionals from one of the biggest organizations in the world. For those people who are
familiar with who is Saudi Aramco,
for example, or SABIC, or Dubai World
Trade Center. So all of these giants from the region. I've been working with them, for them. I've done coaching, I've done training, I've done corporate
coaching, group coaching with them, and so on and so on. So as of late as well, I've started doing some learning interventions, some training courses in Europe as well. So last year I had the opportunity to teach in London. I also taught a class in Amsterdam, Barcelona. So it's kind of an interesting and amazing journey, to be honest. It's a beautiful opportunity to actually be
at that part of the world and work with those people there.
Yeah, so it's amazing, how the flow goes. You start with the teaching, and you was teaching in a private, in what kind of school?
I used to work as an English teacher for about
Okay.
4.5 years. Yeah, 4.5 years. And I thought that was going to be my profession for life. Until I got to a moment where I realized that I need something more challenging, something which is going to be more, moving, something more fluctual.
And luckily, I landed that job back then, and yes, it's where I am at the moment.
Still thankful. Yeah, still thankful for my organization
to provide me with this platform to coach, teach, train, and yeah, work with professionals.
And now you're here live on Instagram.
Yes, exactly.
All this trip you did.
Exactly. Doing the first live.
Also interesting, how did you accept this challenge? Because it's a huge shift for you, from English teacher to the corporate world and everything. How that happened?
Kind of interesting journey, to be honest. At the beginning, I started working from our Skopje office, and I wasn't planning on moving or going to the Middle East. I was working for Middle East, but never been there, right? And then the offer, I got the offer to actually relocate, to move there. I lived in Dubai for 5 years, for those who don't know about that fact about me. But before I actually accepted that offer, I was very reluctant about moving there. I didn't want actually to move there. I thought that I had everything here in Skopje. I had a fulfilling job. I had a job which helped me grow, helped me develop myself further. It was completely new and challenging thing for me. Everything, something new happening. But when we got the offer, my wife, now back then my girlfriend, she was the one actually pushing for us moving, relocating there. So this is how I decided to actually do that, and I don't regret. I don't regret a single second spending the time there, to be honest, because for those who have been to the Middle East, especially within that sector, within that industry, L&D industry in Middle East is huge.
Yeah.
It's probably bigger than anywhere else in the world. So yeah, it's, I think, the right place for one to grow, to develop, and become maybe a coach or a trainer later on in their career.
It's amazing. It's a really different culture also.
It is.
Yes, and it's I was a few times to Egypt. I was also invited for coaching conferences, and I'm still in contact with these people there. I was so amazed how I don't know how if it's in Dubai or Saudi Arabia like that, but Egypt people, professionals, also coaches and trainers that we were on the conference, they were so open, so reaching out, and I was just surprised. I was talking, having my speech, and then suddenly, hands, I want to ask. I said, wow, what is going on? Because here in the Balkan, people really need a push to open and to ask questions. We invite them to ask. It's not going easy. And there was explosion of questions, discussion, interaction. I don't know if it's there also the same, because maybe Egypt is different. I don't know.
You see, the interesting aspect about working in Dubai and Saudi Arabia or GCC in general is that you met and you work with people from hundreds and different of nationalities.
Yeah.
But interestingly, most of those nationalities, Middle Easterners and the Asians, such as Indians, Pakistanis, Filipinos, that we normally meet and work with, interestingly for me, I find them much closer culturally, much easier to connect to than, let's say, most of the, I don't know, Western Europeans.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of that Mediterranean region overflowing, going through Turkey and the Middle East, that we actually share the similar attitude, similar behavior, similar way of communication. A lot of our non-verbals are actually quite similar. And this is how we connect with those people. True.
Yes, yes. In those conferences where I was in Egypt, they were from the whole Arabic region. There were also coaches and trainers. Really, I was amazed, and I liked the warmth and everything. And
Exactly.
how did you roll into this coaching and training? Because that is completely different part than the English teacher.
Exactly. I mean, it's completely different. Definitely, it's completely different. But lucky for me, I had the opportunity to first as part of my job, I had the opportunity to meet and experience firsthand so many trainers and coaches from all over the world. Because working for Leoron, who is one of the largest learning and development institutes, Leoron works with hundreds of trainers, hundreds of coaches. And firsthand, I could meet, I could talk to these people, I could experience their trainings, their coaching sessions. So this was how I actually got even the desire, the spark to become a coach and a trainer myself. Seeing those people, seeing how they do stuff, how they connect with people, how they help professionals grow and develop, I thought to myself, I believe I have what it's needed. And, Leoron gave me the platform, first internally within the organization and secondarily with external clients. But yeah, definitely the experience is quite different. It's not the same. Definitely, we're talking about slightly different cultures, slightly different sensitivities, slightly different topics of discussions. But yeah, it's something that I've been doing for the last 15 years now.
This profession is really a call. You cannot just do that. You really have to, to reach out to people, to connect to people, easily to talk. I don't know how to explain, but it's really a reaching out profession. Be with people. It have have a purpose. It's not just that you do training.
Sure. I mean, you see, when I was young, when I was a teenager, I used to consider myself quite an introvert as a person. And being an introvert and working as a teacher or a coach or a trainer, they don't go really well. But my first job, becoming a teacher, I actually ventured into that without really not knowing what I'm doing. And I went the hard way, to be honest. So I realized this is what I need to do to change myself. And I went through that behavioral change. Luckily, I did that for about 5 years. And, later on working also in sales for a while, all that changed me, gave me the needed competences to really succeed nowadays in what I do as a coach and a trainer.
And what do you do actually? Let's say, what kind of trainings or topics do you usually do? More business oriented, more business, or?
I myself, I am a leadership and behavioral trainer and coach, predominantly helping professional in their thinking process, how to think, how to communicate, how to make decisions, how to solve problems, especially in specific contexts or under pressure or in specific situations. So I teach a plethora of skills. I facilitate workshops in problem solving, decision making, communication skills, public speaking, presentation skills, teamwork, collaboration, just name it. Literally all the leadership and behavioral skills, if I can call them.
And that's your niche, let's say. That's what you like to do. Of course, you like to do, but it's your niche: leadership and behavioral coaching.
Exactly, leadership and behavioral coaching and training is what my niche is. Spend about 80%, 90% of my time doing that throughout the year.
Oh, and are you still learning? Are you still exploring something else, or you are? It's not unnecessary, of course, but maybe you are just grounded in this and you like what you do and everything. But are you still looking for something more, something else?
You see, Marina, sometimes as part of my coaching or training sessions, I get professionals who are actually much more senior than me, much more older than me, like in their 60s, in their 70s sometimes, people who are close to their retirement. And sometimes jokingly, they would say like, I was told by my organization to be part of this session. Like, what am I doing here? And I'm telling them, the moment a person thinks that they know everything is the moment they start falling down. So I learn every single day. I learn in every single session or workshop that I deliver. I learn from the people that I meet. I learn through all those discussions that I have with those people. Sometimes they share facts that I don't know of. Sometimes they share information which is quite specific, quite unique with their industries that might be very helpful for me in future, but I don't know that. So I'm lucky, to be honest, because being what I am, I get exposed to so many different industries, especially the oil and gas. We know how big that is in the Middle East region. Meeting those professionals, definitely, I learn new stuff, and sometimes I learn intentionally. It's not like that; it's a passive learning. I learn intentionally. I just recently I encouraged myself to enroll myself in a workshop for AI. This is something which is taking over the world, obviously. So yes, I'm taking the workshop. Hopefully, maybe when in future I'm gonna even try to facilitate AI workshops. So we'll see.
Wow. And what do you feel? What do you think about it? Because the AI industry combining in the training and coaching is that very useful, I think, for somehow. But some I don't understand. I cannot like you have today with the Instagram. For me, AI, it's like.
I'm definitely see. It's not that I haven't been using AI. I've been using AI heavily over the last several years, even before the rise of, let's say, ChatGPT. Using AI for analysis, using AI for certain insights, using AI for gamifications, using AI for content development, and so on and so on. So. Definitely, it's inevitable. You cannot be up to date. You cannot be apart with the industry unless we develop ourselves as coaches, as facilitators with the needful AI skills. It's something which, if you don't possess it, maybe now, tomorrow, someone else will take it over from you because they'll have it. So.
Yeah, but
like it or not, whether we find it interesting or not, it's something that we need to possess, obviously. Yeah.
But maybe my mindset is not, I'm really curious now because we are coaches, eh? We are not curious, there is something wrong with us. so, so let's say I have conversation with someone, I have a coaching. Here I cannot use the AI. Let's say when I have or I can.
See, maybe not as of now. Maybe with the tools, let's say, which are available for us, maybe not. It's not. It cannot be utilized within exactly during the coaching session, but definitely it can be helpful to create certain insights, to analyze maybe the conversation, to analyze underlying issues, something which maybe we cannot really see, but the AI tool through its own analysis can see and predict. Or even AI can be used to provide feedback. It can, provide feedback forms, which are quite useful for us coaches and trainers and so on and so on. It can generate activities. It can generate eliciting questions. It can give you an ideas on how to move on with the conversation based on something that has been discussed so far, and so on and so on. So opportunities are endless. I'm very hot on using Claude at the moment as one of the tools. But yeah, I guess it's going to be an everyday tool for us in future. So
Yes, amazing. Yeah, I don't know. For my generation, we have to really shift the mind. I think for new generation, that will be normal. Like for me and my father, is different mobile phone. So that's
you see, I still want to believe that the human factor will have to stay there. The empathy and everything which is human and emotional, especially in a session such as the coaching session, will have to be there. But the tools are the ones which will actually help us as coaches and facilitators to make our life easier and make our work more precise sometimes even.
yeah.
So
But let's
I
see. Let's see.
also in your workshop what you're gonna give, I have to read that also. You mentioned also something like how artificial intelligence can inherit the same flaws as revealed in Amazon famous AI recruitment case.
Yes.
Wow.
I don't want to reveal the whole case study. It's something that I want to share there at the workshop itself. By the
I
way,
know
since we
that it's existing. That's why.
yes, you see that's interesting. That's a case study which is more than 10 years old. So a lot of people think that AI has started with the rise of ChatGPT, but AI as machine learning has existed for a lot of years. So even Amazon was using that for a long time, and this is an interesting case study which I want to share and how. They believe that the use of AI as part of their recruitment will make their decision making unbiased, but
Yes.
ultimately they realized something different, and I'm going to share that during the workshop. I don't want to reveal everything here. I want people to be interested to be part of that workshop. Marina.
And how is for you, Ilche, to be? Did you attend a coach conference, any conference in Macedonia as a speaker? Or
To be honest, I've been honored to be part of a Macedonian conference for the very first time. I've attended and I've been a speaker and a workshop facilitator of conferences in the Middle East throughout these years. Just last year, I delivered an amazing workshop as part of the largest Middle Eastern conference. It's called Learn. The conference is called Learn. It's an annual event. And there I had about 45 minutes workshop as part of that conference. But I'm honored to be in Macedonia and deliver this workshop in Skopje for the very first time. So
yeah.
yes, it's an honor. Thank you so much for the invitation.
Also so nice. And also, we are on the social media. That's how everything started. Because I'm following you. We are following each other on LinkedIn, and I saw so many. You can see pictures. Everybody's posting pictures from
Yes.
trainings and everything. But I don't know if you have that, and I think that's also a skill of competence of a coach and a trainer. You feel something. There's some kind of, even though it's a picture, you can feel, you can sense how is the energy, how the people just smile with the certificate. And I think this Ilche must be very good coach. So that's how it started. That's how I approach.
As my friends from Middle East would say, Inshallah.
I love
God willing. God willing.
I love that one. So I can really see that you really love what you do.
I do.
Yes,
I do, to be honest. As I said, you see when I finished my studies in Skopje, I always thought that I'm going to work as an interpreter for the European Union. That was my ultimate desire. But I ended up doing something else completely, and it wasn't really my choice. I landed that job because I needed the money. I had to land the job. That was it. It wasn't really, I can choose from several opportunities which are in front of me. But I realized that I'm doing something which is it's not just simply. There was a lot of pride in it, to be honest. I was literally, for the first time, I felt that I'm proud of what I am, of what I do. And that feeling constantly grew, and it's still growing and developing. Because you see, every session, every workshop that I deliver has nothing to do with the previous one. Every client that I meet is completely new. They all come with different challenges. They all come from different organizations, from different levels. Even though I repeat some of the topics which I teach and I facilitate still, every opportunity that I have in learning and development is completely different from the previous one. So this is why I find it quite challenging, and this is why I kind of, love my job. Even though it's not easy, having to spend 6 to 7 months separated from my family is never easy, to be honest.
Yeah.
A lot of people would just simply give up by the thought that they have to be away from their kids for about 6 to 7 months. which that's me, unfortunately. But this challenge, this desire is what keeps me in the game, to be honest. So yeah.
For everything we pay the price. Everything what we do in life, it's a
Sure.
taking, giving.
Sure.
That's right. So if you can measure what you give and what you take, and if you're not happy with this balance, then you cut. You make different decisions in life. But that's also your topic, I think. Let me see how was the name. How to outsmart your own decisions.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it, really, especially to outsmart your own decision. It's so
That's
nice.
you see, that's going to be a workshop which is going to be quite practical and interactive. You see, very frequently as part of my workshops, I literally combine and blend training and coaching. As a trainer, you have to introduce the tools, you have to provide the frameworks, you have to teach those to the participants. But then, as a coach, through discussion, through self reflection, you actually make people think about their own decisions, about their own attitudes, about their own behaviors, and how that can change or improve. So, in this workshop, what I'm planning on, instead of just simply explaining the common biases that we have when we make decisions, I'm going to create a situation where people will actually experience them in a real time. Because once we see how we really what is our thinking process and how it gets influenced by certain biases, this is when it actually really clicks.
Yeah.
So one of the key parts of this session, it's actually a hands-on exercise which I'm planning, which is where I'm gonna introduce first as a trainer. I'm gonna introduce first one interesting model of decision making. I'm not gonna mention which one, and then we're gonna simulate a decision. So something like choosing between a strategic option, where participants will have to go through a structured process to evaluate alternatives. So what's powerful here is that they will see two big things. First, how helpful a structured tool can be when we make decisions. So it's not intuitive, but you're actually using a structured tool. And second, how, even when we use the structured tool, a bias can still sneak in.
Okay.
I don't want to reveal a lot. I'm not going to talk a lot about it.
Yeah, because you say decisions, it's not only the feeling, can be also structured.
Yes.
That's I was thinking about, wow, how do I make decisions? I'm more by feeling, but I also have, of course, and then I'm sensing in my body something, and then I think, okay, it's done, and then I make the structure. And maybe sometimes it's good for me to learn first, maybe the structure, and then the follow the feeling. I don't know, but I'm lost here. I think so that many people we also not clear about ourselves. What is the strategy? How do we do that?
You see, most of us, if you ask anyone, they will tell you that they're all rational decision makers.
No, yeah.
most people will say, yeah, I'm a rational, I'm a logical decision maker, but we're not. We're actually not, because we're constantly influenced either by things such as assumptions. We are influenced by our emotions. We're influenced by past experiences, and even we're influenced by the information which is present. Like an information which is shown on the screen can influence the audience and people and their thinking process. And even in leadership, even in business contexts, small biases can literally lead to huge consequences, like wrong hires, such as maybe in the Amazon case study, which I'm going to share, like in the recruitment process, or maybe poor investments, missed opportunities. So really here, the goal will not be to eliminate biases. Let's face that. It's impossible. But the goal is to become aware
of our biases and create a systematic approach, like a structured decision making tool that will help us to think more clearly and make more unbiased, if possible, as much as
Yes,
possible,
also
unbiased decision making.
to see the bigger picture, or to
Exactly.
open more, not to be
Exactly.
something. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But so I'm very curious what I'm also going to learn about this. Yes. And tell
It's
me,
gonna be, an amazingly interesting. I think it's about 40 minutes, if I'm not mistaken.
something
40, 45 minutes. We're going to have an interesting engagement activity where I'm going to engage participants through a gamified tool. We're going to explore everyone else's biases, the people who are in the room, before we actually dwell into the tool, which I'm going to present and share. And then we're going to kind of blend in the coaching aspect through self-reflection to understand what exactly it is and how our biases are affecting us, even when we have a structured tool to make a rational decision.
So let's say what I hear, you also combine trainer and a coach.
Yes.
Training and coaching.
Yes.
You
Yes.
work groups with teams. Yes.
That's how most of my workshops look like. I always combine the classical training approach with the group coaching method. First, by introducing a tool, teaching the tool, presenting the tool, and second, by discussing participants through eliciting questions to actually self-reflect and to make sure they analyze and assess their own thinking process and see more clearly their behavior, their actions, their decisions, and how they approach everyday situations.
And who is Ilche, a trainer or a coach?
That's a very interesting and tough question. I always consider myself trainer because probably this is what I'm used to in terms of my interventions are called training programs. At least the leader on my organization, this is how we call them. Although the approach that we use, the methodology that we use is, as I said, is a combination. It's a pure blend of training and coaching. If I have to, I always try to consider myself more of a facilitator rather than just a pure trainer, because what I do best is I facilitate discussions, I facilitate engagements, and I facilitate learning. So
yes,
that's kind of the balance between the training and the coaching.
that's a very interesting, because I'm also sometimes thinking I'm a more in a coaching role, let's say, but I love also to train and everything. But facilitator, it's even more close to me as well, because I also do constellations a lot, business constellations and family constellations. That's different, but in a business, so that's more facilitating role.
Yes.
But also the coaching is very useful, because you're asking the precise questions so they can provoke inner shift something. So that's the role of the coach.
Exactly. Well, see, we are in andragogy. We are teaching or working with adults, and we want to believe that these people are there because it's their choice. It's intentional learning. They want to be there, and they have chosen that specific topic. If we're talking about a specific topic that we are facilitating, so unless you actually explore all those opportunities and tools which are available for self-reflection, for discussions, to elicit, to actually extract the knowledge that these people have. And let's face it, Marina, I've been working with professionals who sometimes have 30, 40 plus years of experience. It's not about lack of knowledge there. These people have the needed knowledge. Sometimes it's just structuring that knowledge through self-reflection that helps them think about their thinking process, how they make decisions, and how they can improve that in future. So this is where we need to help them.
Yes, amazing. Yes, so it's actually it's for everybody. For people with businesses that they have very huge businesses and they work for many years, they can still shift and do something differently, so they can also whatever they want. Maybe they want more free time, so they have to be more practical, more structured. So it's for everyone. And I'm also the conference is not only for coaches. So many times people ask me, but I'm not a coach. Exactly. That's why, because you're not coach, you can come to a coaching conference and learn some new techniques and gain some experience for yourself to see where you are, how can you be better, how can you do differently to have a different result. So the coaching conference is for everyone. Like this, your topic, we all make decisions. Somehow. Even not taking decision is making a decision.
Exactly. I mean, see, if we talk about pure training or classical training, that normally helps people answer the question, what should I do? Because this is what a trainer provides. It provides a certain solution. But when we talk about coaching or blending the coaching within that specific workshop or facilitation, the goal is creating the awareness. And you are actually exploring, why am I thinking in this particular way?
Yes.
So I'm not telling you how to think, but we're gonna explore, why are you thinking in this specific way? So
it's a completely different approach, and I think that's why coaching is the most growing profession. Let's say the last 20 years, it's a lot is happening. I think everybody needs a coach. I have also clients from abroad, and they have a huge businesses. I mean, you can say, okay, they have money. Why should I learn more? Like some Balkan people. I have my business. I have everything. Why should I go to a coaching? Even there are also people, they think that the coaching is psychotherapy, that it's also that something wrong with me, so I have to go for a coaching. It's
you see, myself, even though being a coach, a facilitator, a trainer, I've taken coaching sessions. I've been a coachee myself. Sometimes that's the best way to go through something. So I don't think coaching is just for the people who need to grow and who need to develop, or who are at the beginning of their career. No. Coaching can be for literally anyone.
Yes, and leadership and coaching are very close, because you can lead the processes, but to lead people, you really need a coaching skill.
Sure. That's correct.
Yes. So, Ilche, I don't know if you want something else to say. Well, I have another question, I remember, because you are most of the time in the Middle East, and your clients are more women, men, or women?
That is a very interesting question. When I started doing this in the Middle East for the first time, about 15 years ago, interestingly, back then, you couldn't have a mixed session with men and women in the same room. So even in those cases where we had a mixed program, mixed workshop, we had to have a physical separator in the room that would separate the left and the right part of the room with a physical wall. And the coach or the trainer is just going left and right. Things have changed. Nowadays, there is a lot more equality, a lot more women are being involved. Actually, in the Middle East, in Saudi Arabia, if I'm not mistaken, more women finish university compared with men. And as of late, I've seen growing number of women attending my workshops. Is in some cases even more in number than men.
Wow, that's also amazing for that part of the
and
world.
Interestingly for me, I'm not surprised, to be honest, but maybe it's an interesting fact for the audience, is that women are more willing to learn, more involved, more eager to be engaged, to be part of the sessions compared to men, definitely.
Here also the same. I still have in all the trainings and coaching groups more women than men, still. And it was never, like you said, more men. Here was always more women. Yes, and now the last years I can say that the men are coming. slowly but sure they are coming. So it's a vice versa.
The completely opposite processes. That's okay.
I like that. I like that change because it's really needed. It's really needed
True.
in the
True.
world, that balance of the male and female energy. So I can say you are yes, so happy that you are coming to Skopje for your first speaker at a conference in your home country.
Yeah.
And it's really looking forward, and I know it will be a great session, and so I'm very happy to welcome you, and also I think also the other speakers are very enthusiastic, and I think we created a great group of people like, okay, we can't wait to come and everything to connect with each other. So I think it will be a great field for networking also. So maybe next time you go to Greece or you go to Holland or you go to another country. So
Sure.
everything is possible from this conference.
Sure. Marina, I would like to just to say one thing about those people who potentially might be watching this and maybe even still thinking whether to take part of the conference in May. I would just want to say one thing. If you've ever made a decision and later thought, why did I chose that? I think this workshop, which I'm going to deliver, is probably the right one for you. Because literally, you're going to walk away not only with a basic understanding of how decisions are being made, but we're going to leave the workshop with an actual systematic tool that will give you a deep understanding in terms of how you think, first of all, and how you can actually improve that thinking process so you make better quality decisions.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm going to say.
I made my decision. I'm coming to the conference. I wanted to open the field for much more coaches. So I was in the program, if you remember, in the beginning, but they put me out of the program.
Okay. I haven't noticed that.
I put myself out of the program because I'm here. I'm in Skopje. I'm in Macedonia. People can come to me. I really want to keep a space and the field to open for everybody who are not so reachable as I am. So that's why I will just be the one who is going everywhere and helping everybody. And I'm really, really happy that I will meet you live also. Also to make a live contact, of course, and I hope you will be. No, maybe if the situation is better, you are going back for sure for work and coming back. Yeah, but we don't know.
Still waiting. I have a planned trip which is supposed to take place 19th of April. Let's see.
Inshallah.
True.
Okay, so have a great evening and see you for sure in May, and stay safe and healthy. That's the most.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much for this lovely 45 minutes already. And I'm looking forward to meeting everyone at the conference.
Yes, people I see, they're waiting, they say hi, they say heart, they say also for you. So later I will download this also on the YouTube channel so the people can see the whole conversation. Okay,
Beautiful.
have a nice evening. Thank you everybody.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye-bye.